So we are back for another review, guys, and a really interesting product for today. This is the Z300 from Blon, and I believe this is also a collaboration IM from HBB. So $39 here, right smack with the Blon Z3s of the world. Very nice price range, and yeah, this is maybe the newest Blon in a while that we are checking out in the channel. Very interesting in that, and actually I've seen some maybe press photos of this. It does look really nice here when we open it up. And of course, some specifications here, Z300, 20 to 20 kHz in the frequency range, 115 dB in sensitivity, driver unit 10mm. So single dynamic driver here, much like other Blons. 28 ohm impedance as well, 0.7 to 8mm 2-pin connector, wire 1.2 meters. And yeah, what I really like about Blons is, of course, they have their house sound. They're quite warm, bassy. But in that maybe type of tuning, they're one of the more likable ones, I'd say. But this is gonna be your unboxing experience. Z300 from Blon. Actually, the naming convention as well is a bit different compared to what we're usually used to. There you go. Typical maybe Chi-Fi box here for this price range. Not so bad, I'd say. But definitely, I have seen better packaged IMs, and that is your gold trims. Look at that. So they're kind of upgrading as well the design methodology here. If you can see, you're getting that maybe glossy design with a brushed finish. So that contrast is definitely nice. Believe, let the music burn. Of course, they're still sticking with this. Typical Chi-Fi packaging here. So I'm not expecting that much in the package, but you're getting that cable. So the cable. First impressions here, it does feel better compared to some previous Blon cables here. It's a bit thicker for me. This actually reminds me of the fail cable that I am recommending in the channel. So that's definitely nice. It's a bit maybe thicker, has some gloss to it as well. And if you look at the plug, you have a straight plug at the top. So definitely compared to the previous maybe Blons, this is already better. And you are getting that ear tips, typical, I'd say, for this price point. And you're still getting that Blon pouch, so no maybe soft hard casing. And actually, surprisingly, you're getting 2 sets of tips here. So looking at the IM itself, very nice looking here. Actually, first impressions, yeah, this is the most maybe normal IM shape for a Blon that we have seen so far. So that was an issue before with some Blons. The fitting is not that good. So maybe they kind of solved it already with this. So this is a very safe shape. So kind of a maybe Starfield-esque shape, Moondrop-esque shape. So maybe reminds me of the Kato in a way. So definitely for $39, you're getting that Kato look, all metal, and the build quality has some weight to it. So for $39, this might be one of the better looking, better built IMs that I've seen so far. And yeah, it's a standard design as well. So a lot of people will just wear this and be okay with the shape. So if you look at that, so it reminds me of the Kato in a way. So no fins whatsoever. But it does have maybe a slight maybe blockiness here at the side, so it acts like sort of fins in a way, but still this is gonna be more breathable compared to some IMs with fins. I still do prefer IMs with fins, but that is personal preference. Here at the top, you're getting that flat cover here, but yeah, that is what I mentioned, the mixture of maybe brush and glossy design. So the manufacturing technique that they used here must be maybe a bit different compared to their previous ones. But yeah, gold in the design as well, so actually very tastefully done here for me. So yeah, much like other Blons, the build quality, their design team is doing their work here in the Z300, and this is how it's gonna look like. Actually very nice looking here. So yeah, the best fitting Blon that I have worn so far. So better than the Prometheus, better than the minis, better than other Blons that we have seen. So I do like that they went for a more maybe safe design here. Pros and cons though, so the previous Blons, because it's a unique design, so it will stand out if you have a big collection. But if you have maybe a one IEM to rule them all collection, like for example this is the only one that you're gonna buy, having a safe design is gonna be better. Stability really great here. So it does go inside the ear, but not as much as compared to some other IEM. So the comfort is still there. Fit is very nice, very easy to find the perfect fit here. And because of that ear loss again, it will stay on your ear nicely. So very standard shape, but very nice shape here. So I think a lot of people will just wear this and be okay with the overall design and shape. So yeah, for the build quality overall, very much impressed. Just the cable color that I have an issue with, but also maybe the packaging. But otherwise, for the price that you're paying for, this is very, very nice. Of course, we're gonna listen to the Cavalli Tube Hybrid with the Grease S-DAC for our listen today. So actually, maybe my favorite IEM from HBB before, even if it's my favorite IEM, it's still not maybe a super favorite in the channel, so it's not maybe a channel favorite level. So we might have differences in our preferences with HBB, but that is fine. That is how audio works. We have different preferences, but let's see if this maybe takes the cake as my favorite HBB collaboration IEM. So let's try maybe some I Shot the Sheriff by Eric Clapton. First impressions here, very blonde sound, still big bass for me at the bottom, has some boom in the bass, very blonde type of sound here. So for blonde fans, will feel right at home with this. But maybe the difference of this compared to some other blondes is much like the Prometheus, this has a bit more top end for me. There's a bit more shine on top, but still this is maybe a warm view type of shape for me to the ear. Kind of like a Blon Z3, very close to a Blon Z3, but maybe a bit more, that's more top end for me. But you're still getting that warm bass, you're still getting that lush vocal, but a bit more maybe sizzle on top. So let's try to measure this first, and that is my first impressions, and let's see how the signature is. Alright, so we now did some measurements in the Z300, guys, and then this is the signature. So it has that maybe blonde style from the bass going to around 6K, so it reminds me of that signature, very blonde type of signature. But if you can see, comparing it to the previous Blon Z3s, I'm gonna put it side by side. You're getting more 12K here in the Z300. So yeah, this is more of a U type of shape, still a warm U shape. So this maybe reminds me of the Prometheus in a way, but still having that maybe still less 6K for me because the Blonde Prometheus has a double horns on top. So this is a bit more fun compared to the Blonde Prometheus still. So from the bass region, getting that dip to around 1K, so big bass rise here, so very blonde type of sound, and you're getting a slight mid hump as well, a mid bass hump as well. You're getting that slight elevation to around 1.5K and going down to around 3K, going up to 5K with that second maybe horn, and going down to around 8K and going up to your 12K peak, which gives this a bit maybe more shine for me on top. So again, this is a bit more fun, blonde. So in this price range, yeah, maybe has some, actually maybe the Blon Z1s has some similarities with the Blon Z1s, very close to that. I believe HBB in that maybe price range before, 01s is his favorite, so it might show that this is the signature that he maybe chose in this collaboration IM. So yeah, let's listen to some tunes, but yeah, very interesting. It's still a different blonde here, but a very blonde type of sound you're getting for. Let's go to some Bruno Mars. That's what I like. So into the bass region, so very big bass for me, has some boom in the bass as well. So here for That's What I Like, the bass is mixed to be more forward in the mix, and you're getting that big bass for me. But yeah, this is more maybe mellow bass compared to some TFZs. The TFZ is still gonna be more maybe lively bass. This is a bit maybe a touch mellow. So this definitely boomy bass, slow bass for me in the mix, but big bass. So in the mix, it's very much the focus is the bass here with the Z300. Of course, some cons here. So that slow bass, that mid bass bleed. This is not something that you would want to use for some mixing, some any critical listening work. So this is something that you would use for some fun. Really big bass for me at the bottom, really fun in the presentation. Let's go to some mids. Let's try September by Earth, Wind and Fire. So going to some mids, quite lush vocal presentation, so smooth presentation here. And no shoutiness from me inside in the vocal region. It reminds me a lot of the Blon Z3s, more than the Blon Z1s in the vocal presentation here. So lush, smooth, actually quite level of a vocal presentation here for me. So this is not the highlight of the overall mix, still the bass is, but the vocals are very nicely presented. So even if it's recessed for me in the mix, it's still nicely presented for me in the mix. Let's try some It's My Life by Bon Jovi. I'm going to some It's My Life, again, recessed for me in the mix. Yeah, if you're into vocal positioning, this is not something that you would want. There's still a V-shaped sound through and through. And some micro detail, but this is not the strength of the blonde. So the detail maybe a touch better compared to some other blondes before, but this is not gonna be the strength of this. Let's try some female vocals here. Maybe some Ariana Grande into you. Going to some female vocals again. No shoutiness from inside, but again, still smooth and actually nicely presented for me vocals. It's in the warmer side of things. It's a warm vocal presentation for me, so this is not gonna be your bright, maybe revealing vocals for me in the mix. But still, I kind of like the vocal presentation. It's just the positioning that I have an issue with. So for the mids, very blonde presentation. So it's just a positioning that I have an issue with, but otherwise the presentation is quite okay for me. Going to the top end, let's try some Jumping In by Joe Satriani. So yeah, this is maybe one difference of this compared to some other blondes. So definitely that 12K, that extension for me on top makes the guitars here shine even more compared to some other blondes that we have before. So some other people, find the previous blondes to have more or have less top end at what they would like, but this solves it. So this gives it more shine for me on top. So the guitar is actually quite it's quite revealing for me of presentation, which is surprising to say for a blonde. The top end reminds me of the blonde Prometheus for me, but here we're getting divided by 2 the price. And the cymbals as well, nice body for me in the cymbals. So this gives it maybe more monitor qualities to the sound here in the Blon Z300 compared to some other blondes that we have seen before. This is definitely the most fun blonde, especially most fun budget blonde that we have seen so far. Let's try some Dream Theater, Dark Eternal Night. So here, yeah, for guitar tracks, this might be maybe the best budget blonde for guitar tracks that I have seen because of the top end. So there's some shine here for me. So for John Petrucci's guitars, it has a bit more sizzle for me on top. It's a bit more revealing for me on top, but still very much a fun type of presentation here. So actually for this signature is quite unique. I haven't seen this in other maybe manufacturers. Maybe the closest is the TFZ Live 3 has that kind of tuning, but still not quite, because the TFC Live 3, the 6K there is a bit more prominent for me. This has maybe less of that 6K for me in the mix. So this sounds a bit warmer in that regard, but you're really fun in the presentation. Your soundstage is actually quite big for me, above average. In terms of the micro detail, again, not a micro detail monster. This doesn't have that much micro detail. And going to some tonality, really nice in the tonality here for me. It's in the warmer side of things, quite natural for me for presentation. So again, this is something that you would use for some fun listening, I'd say. So for the Z300, is this the best blonde that I've listened to in the sub maybe $30 range? So maybe so, because of that top end. So that up end has a bit more maybe shine for me on top, and I do like that. And yeah, this is more you compared to some other blondes that we have seen, but because of that, maybe guitars, that more shiny guitars, I'm actually liking this over some other blondes that I have seen before. So yeah, overall for me, this might be my favorite budget blonde. So that is quite cool, because yeah, first, the build quality for me is better compared to some other blondes. The fit is better, so that in itself might be a unique selling point for some people. For some blonde fans before that, they had an issue with the maybe fitting on the ear. This might be just the blonde that you're looking for, because the fit is nice. Cable, similar to a fail cable. I believe this is $10 to $20. Just the cable itself has some similarities to that before. That's nice addition. It's just the color that I have an issue with, but otherwise, the build quality, the feel in the hand, it's really good, and the really heavy IM as well, and the sound as well. So you're getting the really big blonde bass. So for blonde fans, you will really like the overall listen here. Has a mid-bass bleed, but again, that is the bass that you're looking for blondes. This is something that you would use for some fun. And going to the mids, nice vocal presentation, not the best positioning, but nice in the presentation overall. So for both male and female vocals, quite lush in the presentation, no shoutiness for me inside. Really maybe toned down in the presentation in that sense. And going to the top end as well, more extended top end here compared to some other blondes that we have seen before. So might be the blonde with the most shine that we have seen so far in the budget blonde space. And yeah, big sound stage as well, nice tonality here overall, and no shoutiness from inside. So that's really nice for me, especially for a $39 price point. So yeah, for me personally, maybe my favorite blonde in the budget space, and that's maybe a big thing, because I do like Blon Z3s. But here, because of that more maybe prominent top end, I'm liking this a bit more. Still a different tuning though, so I think for some people you might still like the Blon Z3 over this. Though this and the Blon Z3 is still maybe my top blondes in the budget space. But yeah, personally for me, this is edging it a bit more because of that. When I listen to a lot of guitar tracks, and this might be a bit more universal in that sense compared to the Blon 03s. So yeah, for the budget space, this might be my favorite blonde so far. But yeah, looking at the bigger picture here, we still have the Sal Notes 0 in the sub 20 range, and that tuning is still a bit more versatile compared to this one. So yeah, for this, if you just really like to have some fun in your life, this might be a good pick. But still, I think for most people, if you're looking for maybe one IEM to rule them all, I still do prefer maybe a more neutral tuning over the Z300 there. So it will be up to you, your decision on that. But definitely for fun and for some bass, this is still one of my favorite in the sub maybe $40 range here. So yeah, that's my take with the Z300 from Blon. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Of course, plug guys. So for June 5, IMZ, my music project, will have a launch. We're gonna launch our single Panaginip, and we're gonna play some tunes. If you're in the area, see you there. And yeah, if you have other questions for me with the Z300, of course, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt video. Bye bye.